From the time we dedicate ourselves to giving you the latest of what's happening with the case against R. Kelly as a major program within our news department, we have had to deal with some recurrent backlash and criticism from those who passionately hate what we are doing for whatever reason we don't know, with some people who suggest they are staunch supporters of the R&B king alleging we publish fake news, probably with the intention of discouraging us from getting the real truth out there on how the great music icon has been prejudiced by our own government together with their Department of Justice counterparts. Nevertheless, we have not relented and have instead continued to publish and reveal as many hidden truths as possible, truths that no one wants you to know about, for we believe it's for our viewers to decide whether our videos are worth watching or not. We are happy though to say that through this journey, God has exceedingly blessed us as many of the things we have talked about have eventually come to pass, and each day that passes we see more and more of these unfold for the whole world to see. It's however disturbing when we time and again see some obviously false and non-substantial information trending all over social media, especially when it has to do with the topic we are currently handling and everybody's jumping onto it like they believe it. About a month ago, for example, a story suggesting R. Kelly was selling out concert tickets in prison made rounds on social media, including here on YouTube, to a point where the internet was all colored in orange with fake images of the R&B king holding a mic and performing to multitudes. Because we had so much more important information to publish during the past 30 days, we haven't managed to find an opportunity to address this, but thankfully today we are able to do this. And it's not only the news about this concert in jail that has left many completely deceived when it comes to what's happening with R. Kelly, but there have also been multiple claims that R. Kelly has been telling on other celebrities as an exchange for a reduced sentence. It's important to note that R. Kelly did not accept guilt for any of the charges placed against him and therefore would not be going around telling on anybody in exchange for any sort of favors that he clearly doesn't need. For a man who is not guilty for any of these crimes he was charged with, there is no need for him to be exchanging intel about other artists, and even if the situation were to be different, he is not the kind of person that would look forward to doing such a thing. R. Kelly will win back his freedom fair and square, and those publishing false information about him are only looking to tarnish his name. If you dig deeper, you could find they are working for the government, or maybe they have Sony imprinted somewhere within their agenda. It's therefore important that the world gets to know the truth, and that is to say there are no concerts being planned out in jail for R. Kelly. And that he is not snitching on anyone, FYI. R. Kelly's current focus is largely on regaining his freedom such that he can return to us and to doing what he does best, and that's make great music for the whole world to enjoy. His attorney Jennifer Bonjean has prepared a wonderful appeal submission that should be compelling enough to see his convictions overturned and an immediate acquittal, or at the bare minimum a retrial given. Basing her arguments largely on what the trial transcript says, much of the content in her submission has left the world wondering why R. Kelly was sentenced to 30 years, or even found guilty of all 10 counts in the first place. Her revelations have made it clearer that R. Kelly was prejudiced. Reading some of the responses which were made by the jurors while responding to the questionnaire that was given, to test their ability to remain objective with the case and issue fair judgment is quite disturbing. Still, from Bonjean's appeal documents, we affirm that there was plenty of information to derive from the witness statements which, if considered by the judge, should have exonerated the R&B king from several criminal allegations, but because the New York judge preferred to ignore all this and instead proceed with her prejudicial approach, the opportunity to serve timely justice was lost. According to Monique, I couldn't believe the news when it said R. Kelly was selling out tickets from inside prison, firstly because it sounded weird in the first place, and also because I did not see it mentioned on LFN Media and on HN News, where I am sure to get the latest of updates in relation to the case, and of course about R. Kelly's life in prison. It's funny how the world is quick to embrace fake news and discredit the truth. But again, I fault those who publish it even more because it's them misleading everybody else. I like that you have also addressed the rumor of R. Kelly snitching on everybody else in the industry, because that's not what he represents. We know that there are many people in the industry who have chosen to harass and persecute him out of envy, but the R. Kelly I know is not vengeful and will not be wasting his precious time he could be using to fight for his freedom telling on Jay-Z or any other person. I also think those publishing such demeaning information are secretly working against him, and are only seeking to sabotage his defense. If I remember well, HN News once published a video that said the R. Kelly to snitch hoax was Jay-Z's idea to make him look innocent, and I believe that. If it's not Jay-Z's idea, then it's the government or simply his haters trying to distract the attention of the public from the newfound text evidence which could easily see the New York verdicts overturned. I therefore advise that no one be fooled. When we are left in the dark not knowing the truth of what's happening with the case against R. Kelly, and instead kept busy thinking Kelly is selling out concerts in prison, it makes it easier for the government to manipulate the court system and have their bogus charges sneaked into his case. We therefore ought to keep our ears on the ground and stay in touch with the facts of the case in order not to be cheated. According to Ilaria, it's a shame this hoax of a lie traveled far deep into the masses and almost on every social media platform. I saw it on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, everywhere people were sharing. I am glad though it's finally being called exactly what it is: fake news. Meanwhile, this is the challenge we have been facing from the time R. Kelly was arrested. We have seen many bloggers pretend to be defending him, yet they give so much time to those who are against him to roll out their propaganda against him with no real contest, and then pretend like they are for R. Kelly. It's a shame they think people are so stupid to see through them, which is not the case. And this is the common challenge among celebrities. It's always very difficult to know who is for you and who is not for you when you are at the peak of your career. Indeed, what we are currently waiting for is the appeal process, which begins on the 3rd of this month. I personally wouldn't waste my time on any other information that is not related to the upcoming appeal, which could see R. Kelly return to freedom. It's clear that he was prejudiced because the said government didn't present any concrete evidence against him to justify the charges which ended up on the charge sheet as a result of sentiments. Thank you for watching today's video, a production of LFN Media, giving you another perspective of issues at hand. We make it our business to keep you updated with the truth amidst the cloud of lies the media wants you to believe. It is therefore important to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon and allow all notifications so that you don't miss out whenever we publish a new video.